We are moving on to our final speaker. And I think you need to grab a popcorn because his profile is just like him. His physical appearance is gigantic, I must say. So grab your popcorn whilst I tell you his profile. He is a spiritual master who has dedicated over 35 years to spreading a message of world peace. He founded Etherean mission in Ghana, a metaphysical organization focused on self-awareness and the study of natural sciences. His magnetic presence has graced diverse international platforms, including the New Thought Alliance in South Africa, and prominent appearances on the US television and radio platforms. He's also the director for Conscious Humanity, a non-profit organization and a social wing of Etherean Mission, and Conscious Humanity Incorporated in the United States. As a prolific author, Brother Ishmael has penned over 35, including The Way Forward, outlining 18 transformative principles for harmonious success, Inspired African Mystical Gospel, a rediscovery of lost treasures within African mystical culture practices. The New Era of Spirituality, which is a masterpiece to reconnect us with nature and unveil the divine within and around us. He conducts seminars on creativity, emotional healing, self-empowerment, covering topics such as growing the empowered child, of which I'm a beneficiary, key to empire living, pain to power, possibility living, and finding your life purpose. His spiritual and mind science technologies have guided many students to recover from conditions considered terminal by Western medical practitioners, and also introduces audience to ancient African healing techniques. Brother Ishmael's outstanding contribution has garnered him special congregational award from Invaluable International Service from Santa Monica and San Francisco, designate April 25th and March 17th as Brother Ishmael Tetteh's Day. I think you need to clap for that, Brother Ishmael Tetteh's Day. His warm and wise presence, coupled with his transformative teaching, deeply influenced those who have privilege of knowing him, sparking profound personal growth and changing in the individual and the world at large. With a resounding round of applause and a drum roll, we invite Reverend Dr. Brother Ishmael Ninyaku Oblite Tetteh, the Liberty God.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's always morning in God's neighborhood. The sun of righteousness never sets in God's neighborhood. Where the time is, I feel already rushed. But let me see if I can just touch a few points. Trustingly, we can pick something both from the spiritual, the religious, and the political that we can use. Ghana has been ushered into the Fourth Republic. Truth is, when we look at Ghana today, it has not been better in the Fourth Republic. Face the truth. Thus, there's an underlying tension in everyone. Trusting that the next breath of government will make it easier for us. In the Fourth Republic, has given us a cycle of two political parties. NDC, NPP, let's face it. So if there's any problem in the Fourth Republic, it will be NDC, NPP. You can't blame any of them singularly. When there was NDC, NPP will tell us, see, they've borrowed so much, they've put us in problem. When NPP comes into power, more borrowing. Isn't it true? whatever government promises you, there are three things. He's taking from you, he intends to take from you through taxes, or borrow for your children and great-grandchildren to come and pay, isn't it? These are the only three things. So can we blame NDC or NPP? No, but they have been in the power cycle all through. So we have to look at the problem and the issue more fundamentally than NDC, NPP. In fact, I always, when you meet with Brother Ishmael, I have to speak the truth. Almost all the government, they come to power pre-corrupted, to be corrupt. Let me speak it clearly. How much money do they make for the campaign they do? The money that they spend. When they come to power, they have to recoup their money, isn't it? Am I speaking the truth? So we need something that is more fundamental for our nation, Ghana. And that's why I will suggest a few things. First, the need for the country to have a national agenda, a national vision that parties come to execute. Today, it looks like the vision we have to, for Ghana is in the manifestos of political parties, which changes every 8 years or 4 years. So there's no stability in our vision. And what I'll do is that I will see if I can do this right up and put it on our website, wealthpeaceinourlifetime.com. Wealthpeaceinourlifetime.com. What did I say? Wealth peace. So you can go and read it. So I want to be very brief with each one. So there's the need for a national agenda. Bring in the religious people, the politicians, the philosophers, the engineers, the economists, and we can create a national vision of what Ghana would look like. The MCs were doing their best to help us see whether we can create a vision with all of us, but time is far gone. So we can have a national agenda from a national vision. Then the next is to create a national character. Something we can all feel proud about, that this is our national character for peace. You can't have peace if you don't teach people peace. Is it not possible for us to teach children how to practice kindness? But is kindness in our education curriculum? Yet we want peace. And as one speaker said, the peace is within. Right? And if it's within, then we need to teach it. But we don't teach it, yet we expect it to happen. And as one of the speakers said, we have to be conscious about it. Conscious learning of peace principles. So we need to have national character of peace. You see, I will put it this way. If you were to harness the industrial spirit of the Ewes and capture it within the groundbreaking spirit of the Ashantis and package it in the steadfast spirit of the Northern tribes, and then put it into the hall of the honesty and proactive spirit of the Gas, and then market it through the Kwawu spirit, and package it with the Fanti beautification spirit. If we bring these together, we've got national elements for character. And these are our diversities. These are our cultural differences. And within the cultural differences lies these inborn characteristics. We can have our anthropologists and psychologists study the inborn characteristics, how they were developed. And this could then be taught in our school system. We now come up with a national character, with a national language. I'm a Ghana. If you ask me what should be Ghana's national language, I'll say I can. And we can even create a national culture based on the values on the Homowo, then we rise up as Ghanaians, feeling proud of what we are as Ghanaians, with a vision, with a national agenda or vision. There's a need for us to educate our electorate, number 3, so they know how to choose. If we don't educate them, because my mother is MPP, I'm going MPP. So we're either going for sentimental reasons, tribal or ethnic reasons. So the reasons for voting for a party or not is no longer coming from informed decisions, like somebody influences you. So we need to educate the electorate. If you were to ask me, for example, who am I going to vote for? I'll say, I'll vote for a candidate who will promise that it will no longer go for loans, but will develop the mindset and the creativity of the people. Because progress does not come from going and borrowing and building infrastructure. Build the people and they will build their own infrastructure. So I will be looking for people-based development and not infrastructure-based development. So you go and borrow some money, do some streets. Sometimes the streets are very shallow from here to my home. I look at the streets and I say, this is the taxpayers' money spread on the road with potholes, potwells on International Road. Who is supervising? So we need to give attention to this. And when we speak about peace, peace is spiritual, as one of the speakers said, it's within. And every political party, when you come to power, you know that peace is the foundation for the growth of the nation. There's a need for some fusion between politics and religion. Politics and spirituality. But we have to go beyond religion to spirituality. Because religion tells you what to think. Spirituality gives you the freedom to explore. Right? So, and then finally, communication. We respect our political leaders, as one speaker said. We respect you. So when you come to the platform and you speak, many people take what you say as absolute. When I was growing up, when something is written in book or in paper, then it is truth. So when somebody says something and wants you to believe, say, oh, it's even written in the graphic. In other words, once it is published in the graphic, it is true. Or written in the book, it is true. We have gone beyond that. However, we still believe you political leaders. So when you come to the platform, whatever you are speaking, go with the Socratic law. Somebody went to Socrates and asked, and wanted to share something with Socrates. Socrates observed the eagerness of the person to tell him something. And said, before you tell me what you are going to tell me, please tell me, what you are going to tell me, is it true? Can you be absolutely sure that it is true? The young man was perplexed and said, no, I was told. He said, what you are going to tell me, is it good? The young man stopped again and said, no. Then he asked, if you tell me, is it going to be of any beneficial effect to me, to the person, and to everyone? The young man said, no. So Socrates said, why didn't tell me or anybody else? So if it's not true, if it won't make me any good or better, if it will not be of benefit to me and everyone, why tell me? So when you mount the podium and you start talking about NPP corrupt and this and that and it is still, think of yourself. And when NPP also comes and say NDC corrupt and so, you are creating negative energy. You're making us as Ghanaians live in fear. Now, nobody knows what is enough. If I have, I must hoard because things could change tomorrow. Finally, since all of you, the politicians, you've been speaking from religion or spirituality, let me give you some little vision. If you were to amass the whole wealth of this world, some people believe in reincarnation, meaning when you die, you'll be born again and again and again. So let's imagine that you are of that faith, and you amass all the wealth, you have $700 billion, then you die. And you are even reincarnated in the same family. Will you be able to access that money? Can I hear you again? No. It's no longer yours. But if you have used that money to create a system for the family, the community, which is progressive, you'll be born in the progressive environment, isn't it? Yes. So when you are a politician, whatever you are doing, realize that soon you'll be out of this body. Now, if you have the other faith that believes that you die and then you go to a certain world called heaven, heaven will be what you have input there. Again, you've amassed all of these $700 billion. In fact, you took monies that should have been used for education for some people, meaning you caused pain, misery starvation, deprivation to communities. Meaning what you have input into the spiritual world you are going into is pain, misery, deprivation, isn't it? What are you going to inherit there? So think twice when you come into power. And let us realize that we are all children of one family of God. Thank you for listening to me.
Can we do it better? Can we do it better?